Here's your news rush for August 20th, 2026. 6 stories. Let's go. President Trump just widened the Iran standoff to include any country that helps Tehran at all. Trump announced what he called the most crushing economic operation ever taken against any country, saying any nation that lets its banks, businesses, airports, or government entities give Iran any kind of lifeline will itself face, quote, tremendous economic consequences. He named oil smuggling, currency swap lines, cash transfers, and ship registries as targets to shut down immediately. But Trump did not name a single country besides Iran that would actually be punished. That means dozens of nations are now on notice for a threat with no specifics attached yet. Subscribe for more. That's world news, fast. Israel just struck another country's air base to stop a third country's troops from landing there. Israeli officials say 8 strikes hit the runway of Syria's Abu Dur air base in Idlib province, causing damage but no casualties, according to Syrian state TV. Netanyahu's office says Syria was on the verge of breaching an agreed security status quo by allowing Turkish troops to deploy at the base. Syria's foreign minister called it an unjustified violation of sovereignty. Qatar, Egypt, and Saudi Arabia have all condemned the strikes too. That means Israel just picked a fight over troops that were not even Syrian, on Syrian soil. Subscribe for more. That's world news, fast. We told you this outbreak passed 2,000 deaths last week. It just blew past 5,000 cases entirely. Congolese government data shows 5,021 cases and 2,378 deaths, with responders warning the outbreak is spreading faster than any Ebola outbreak in history, about 3 times faster than the 2014 to 2016 West Africa outbreak that was the deadliest ever recorded. Insecurity, displacement, and constant population movement are fueling the spread, and there is no approved vaccine or treatment for this particular virus strain. That means the usual outbreak playbook does not fully apply here. Subscribe for more. That's world news, fast. The U.S. just crossed a debt milestone faster than anyone expected. The Treasury Department says the national debt hit a record $40 trillion, just 5 months after passing $39 trillion in March. That works out to about $117,000 of debt for every American, or nearly $300,000 per household. Treasury data shows the debt has doubled since January 2017. Forecasters say lost revenue from invalidated tariffs helped push this milestone months earlier than expected. At the current pace, that means $50 trillion is only about 6 years away. Subscribe for more. That's world news, fast. A 50% tariff on billions in Canadian goods got called off less than 2 hours before it would have hit. Trump announced the US and Canada reached a last-minute deal to delay 50% tariffs on $20 billion of Canadian imports, just before a midnight Wednesday deadline. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney confirmed the pause lasts until August 22, with Canada agreeing to drop measures the US considers discriminatory against American alcohol, dairy, and vehicle exports. But Carney himself said, quote, important work remains. That means this is a pause on the deadline, not an actual finished deal. Subscribe for more. That's world news, fast. A search team went looking for a body and found a man very much alive. Erasto Crisanto Valdez disappeared while fishing near San Francisco La Paz, Mexico, on July 23, after he says he followed a fish into an underwater cave and lost his way out. 15 days later, specialist divers searching the cenote, more than 300 feet down, heard him respond to their calls. Crisanto says he survived by finding an air pocket to breathe in and drinking from an underground river, and lost track of time so completely he believed only 3 days had passed. He was hospitalized with dehydration and malnutrition, but he made it out alive. 15 days, alone, in the dark, and he made it. Subscribe for more. That's world news, fast. That's your news rush for today. Subscribe so you never miss a day.